Hey guys, what's up? It's JoJo here, and in this video I want to tell you guys my favorite book series. Now, I love to read books. I read books literally every single day in my life, and I love how books have these certain stories that just involve you and get you just into the book. And in this video I want to tell you my favorite book series. Now, my favorite book series is Percy Jackson. I love that series because of the Greek mythology it has in it, of the quests, the monsters, the fighting, the demigods, the Greek gods. It's just a great series, and I love the author, Rick Riordan. I think I say his last name, Rick Riordan. I can't say his last name, I'm sorry. So, if you have never heard of the Percy Jackson series, I'm going to show you what's in the Percy Jackson series. And also, in the Percy Jackson series, there's one whole series, and there's another series that I'm almost done with. So I'm going to show you what's in the first series. So in the first series, there were still more books in the first series, but this is what I got started back. In the first series, there's the Lightning Thief, the Sea Monsters, and the Titan's Curse. The first book is Lightning Thief, and like that. And I started reading the Lightning Thief in 6th grade when we had to do it for the module for school and everything, and I fell in love with it. I loved the storyline, the adventures that Percy and Annabeth and Grover had, how Rick led you on to me, not led you on, but made you keep on reading, so he never makes you lose your focus in the book. He always keeps you a hold in the book. And these are just the first 3 in the series. And then it is the Battle of the Labyrinth is the 4th book, and the last book of the first series is The Last Olympian. And these 2 books have lots of adventure in them, like Percy, Annabeth, and Grover fell into a labyrinth. They had to find their way out, face many obstacles, challenges. It was a really great series. And then the last book, I love how I love the book because how every monster was there, how the whole Camp Half-Blood was there. Camp Half-Blood is where Percy Jackson went because that's where he is, because he's a demigod. He's son of Poseidon. Demigod means half human, half god. So his son is Poseidon, and his mom is mortal. And I love how they have a series. The first series is really great because it just has a really great story and plot line to it. The last book, I really like how it ended. Even though there was lots of deaths in this book, it wasn't a bad ending. It was actually a really good ending, and just a really great book. And now the second series, which the books in the second series are a lot bigger. So the first book in the second series is The Lost Hero. Now, The Lost Hero starts off completely different because there's no Percy, there's no Annabeth, there's no Grover in the very first book of the new series, because the first book of the series starts off with Piper, Jason, and Leo. They don't know they're demigods until they get to Camp Half-Blood, who are actually brought to by Annabeth, so there is Annabeth in this book. Annabeth runs to Camp Half-Blood, they get claimed by the godly parent. Then they go on this quest. Leo built this awesome dragon thing called Festus. And, the quest in this book was really interesting. There was lots of action, memory loss in this book. Yes, Jason lost his memory in this book. He got his memory back, though, thank God. And, I think in this book, my favorite character has to be Leo. I'm sorry about my neighbors out there. I'm just sorry about them. They're loud. Has to be Leo because he's very... Demigods are ADHD and dyslexic, and he's so ADHD, it's not even funny. He's really hyper and jumpy and all over the place, and he's just really funny. The second book in the second series is The Son of Neptune, and there is Percy Jackson. Yes, it's Percy, Hazel, and Frank in this book. And Percy is a Greek demigod, and Hazel and Frank are Roman demigods. There's two different camps for Greek and Roman, and Percy ends up in Roman camp, but he's not supposed to be in Roman camp. He's supposed to be in Greek camp. I forgot to mention. Jason is supposed to be Roman camp, but he ends up in Greek camp. So like Percy and Jason swap camps, both lose their memory. It takes them the entire book to get their memory back and to realize that who their true selves are. And I think the entire book takes, I have to say, like, the entire book really. But how Rick describes how they lost their memory, how he describes the flashbacks that they have, how he just described, like, the backstories in every character is amazing. And in this book, Percy, Hazel, and Frank go to Alaska because they have to do another quest. So much action. And then just they go to, I don't want to spoil the whole book, but just like they're on a quest to Alaska, and they have a monster that's really trying to manipulate into defeating him. Yeah. Okay, the next book in that series, the third book, is The Mark of Athena. I have this book in hard copy because my soft copy of this book got destroyed in my backpack by my water bottle. Rest in peace. Is The Mark of Athena, and The Mark of Athena, Percy, Jason, Piper, Leo, Hazel, and Frank all join forces, and Nico also. Nico is the son of Hades, and he's also in this book. You meet Nico in the Titan's Curse in the third book, in the first series, and they have to go on this big, huge quest in this book. The quest starts in The Mark of Athena and continues in two other books, which is also in the series. And they meet Percy at Roman camp. They have to devise a plan to tell him that Gaia, a really bad goddess, I think she's a goddess, is going to be rising, and that she's going to defeat the world, like that, all the demigods, and take over the world with all of her monsters and everything. So there's an oracle which tells them a prophecy, which tells them like what they have to do to complete this quest. And there's a quest, and they have to defeat it. And in this book, the quest starts, and Leo built a ship called the Argo 2, and it takes them where they need to go for their destinations. Of course, there are bumps in the road. There are there are fights in this book. There's monsters, and I just love how this book starts off the quest. It starts off greatly with the quest. I love how it started off with the quest in this book. He did a really great job. I love him as an author. I really do. And the one I am currently reading right now is House of Hades. And oh wait, no, I'm done with the House of Hades. I'm sorry. I just finished this book a few weeks ago, The House of Hades. And in the last book, Mark of Athena, Percy and Annabeth fell into Tartarus, which is in hell. Sorry, bad language. Sorry. And Percy and Annabeth go through this whole quest, defeating monsters, trying to make friends, trying to escape, trying not to fear death, and trying just to survive. Because if you fall in Tartarus, there's really small chance of getting out because there's so many monsters in there. It's just crazy, and it's really hectic, and you have to keep your mind focused, because if you don't believe that you can escape Tartarus, you will most likely be killed by a monster. Because whenever a demigod kills a monster, the monster ends up in Tartarus to regenerate after a few years or in a few days, and then they come back up to the mortal world and try to hunt demigods again to kill the demigods. But usually how it works, the demigods kill the monsters. So Percy and Annabeth fell in Tartarus, met a bunch of monsters, tried not to die, but they made it out okay. But they tried not to die, made friends. But yeah, I really like this series because I really like this book because how Rick described every chapter. It just kept wanting you to read more and more and more, because you just want to find out what happens to Percy and Annabeth, what happens to this character, what happens to that character. It just keeps you on hold. the last book in the series, which I am currently reading, is The Blood of Olympus. All I know in The Blood of Olympus is that it's the final battle. There are new POVs in this book. You don't know POV, it means point of view. And whose point of view is in this? It's Nico's, Jason's, Raina, Leo, and Piper's are the POVs in this book. And all I know is that there's a battle in this book. The battle is going to end in this book. And I know it's going to be some great fighting, because look at this cover. That's Jason, because you can tell by his blonde hair and his awesome sword that's glowing. There are titans, giants. There's Hazel on the horse. That's Frank over there. And that little tiny dot right there is the Argo 2, which is a ship Leo built, but that ship's not really that tiny. It's really big. It's a warship. It's literally a warship. That's all I know in this book. But I'll let you guys know when I finish this book. Will I be crying because it's over, or I'll be crying because it's such a great ending? I'll probably be crying of both because I love this series. And also the series, there's also graphic novels. There's graphic novels of the first 3 books in the series. And there's also a graphic novel of The Lost Hero. And that's all graphic novels. And also there's these cool little miniature books, like The Demigod Diaries. That's Talia's shield. She's the daughter of Zeus, and that's her shield. That's cool. I haven't read this one. There's Percy Jackson, The Unlimited Guide, and I love this one. As you can tell, I've really used this book because I've had it for such a long time. Like, I love how it changes people. And here is cards of the characters. Tells you backstories of them. It's like trading cards, but you can't trade them. And also there's Percy Jackson and then God Files. I started to read this book, but I never finished it. I'm gonna read it after the series probably. Just look at these cool pages. Probably can't tell, but they just feel it's like an actual diary, and it feels like an old diary. And that's Percy's sword, and there's also the Poseidon's Triton in there. And yeah. So guys, that's it for this video. This video was really, really long. I'm sorry. Actually, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Comment down below, what's your favorite book? What's your favorite book series? Do you like any books I showed you today? Have you read the series before? Until next Saturday, guys. Bye, guys.